Yo, what's up, guys? Hope you guys are all having a great Thanksgiving. Gonna post this video for the Sunday slate. Haven't made an NFL video in a few weeks, but have a lot of free time today, so might as well put one out. We have another 10-game slate for this week. So let's get started. At quarterback this week, the pricing is pretty cheap here. The highest price guy is 6,500, Tom Brady. A lot of guys right here in the mid-range that we can go to. I really like Lamar Jackson this week, 5,700. So it looks like he's going to get the start once again, as Joe Flacco looks like he's not going to be ready. Lamar Jackson looked great. Looked kind of like a young Michael Vick in his first game. Posted almost 20 Draftkings points without scoring any touchdowns. So he has a very high chance to really put up a big score this week against the Oakland team. Raiders are really banged up. They're terrible defensively, giving up 29 points per game. The Ravens playing at home with the young Lamar Jackson at the helm. I think they're going to put up a lot of points this week, and Jackson should potentially get multiple touchdowns. I think there's a good chance he gets multiple touchdowns, and if he does that, then he has a real chance to put out like 30 DraftKings points, just because he takes a ton of rushing attempts. Had about a running back's workload, as well as threw the ball almost 20 times. So he has a ton of upside here, and in this matchup, I'll be all over Lamar Jackson. Running back, I really like James Conner at 7,800. So after a couple of not great weeks, I think some people will shy away from him this week. But James Conner has been one of the best running backs this season in terms of fantasy, getting a lot of attempts on the ground as well as being a great pass catching back. Yes, he has had a lot of 35 plus, 40 plus point games this season, and it is a great matchup here against Denver, who is very bad against the rush, giving up almost 130 rushing yards per game. James Conner, after not getting a lot of workload as against Jacksonville, the Steelers were down by 16, so they went to the pass with Roethlisberger, had to throw the ball a lot in the second half, and then Week 10 was a blowout, so he didn't see a lot of run. I'm expecting him to get back into his big production here in a great matchup here against the Broncos. Second running back I like is a value option. I'm going with Josh Adams. The Eagles look like they finally found a decent running back, as Corey Clement and Wendell Smallwood have been terrible this season. Smallwood and Clement's workload has gone down each of the past couple weeks, as Josh Adams has taken a lot of their workload on the ground. Hopefully, Doug Peterson and the Eagles realize that Josh Adams is the answer after he is leading the NFL in yards per carry for the past 3 weeks. He's just been awesome. If the Eagles finally feature him this week against the Giants team, he could put up a really big number here. And at 3,800, he's still very cheap. So I like Josh Adams playing at home against a bad Giants defense. On the other side, at receiver, I'm all over Odell Beckham at 8,800. It is a pretty high price tag, but we've seen how bad this Eagles secondary is. They are missing 75% of their secondary. They are super banged up on the outside. Nobody's going to be able to defend Odell Beckham unless they double and triple team him, because they legitimately have practice squad members, practice squad cornerbacks, and a practice squad safeties, except for Malcolm Jenkins, on the team. So they are extremely banged up. Odell Beckham could have a big week this week. He didn't have a big game against them the first time, but he still got 10 targets. He's just been very solid, getting a ton of targets here, except last week he only got 4. But I'm expecting, a really big game from Odell Beckham this week. He is the receiver that I want to pay up for. Another valued receiver I like is Willie Snead. He's only at 4,400. He's been so consistent in getting targets, 7 straight targets, 7 or more targets in 7 straight weeks, I believe. And, he's just been, getting double-digit DraftKings points for the most part. At 4,400, will take 10 DraftKings points. But he does have some more upside here, especially in this matchup, where I'm expecting the Ravens to score points. He's only had 1 touchdown on the season, but that was with Joe Flacco for the whole year. Lamar Jackson, he looked pretty good with him, and the offense looked a lot better under Lamar Jackson. So if the Ravens start scoring a lot of points, we could see Snead get a couple more touchdowns before the end of the year. And if that's the case, with the volume that he has without scoring touchdowns, he can put up like close to 20 if he does manage to get into the end zone. So I like Snead at 4,400 against the Oakland team this week. And then tight end, you got to go Cameron Brate here for cash games. So without O.J. Howard is going to be on IR Cameron Brate at 3,600 is a great play this week. Tight end has been a position where we don't have a lot of options a lot of the weeks, but this week we do have a great value option staring right at us at 3,600 with Cameron Brate. If you want to pay up, you could go like George Kittle, but I'm going to take the savings and pay up for like a receiver. So I like Cameron Brate at 3,600. Should get all of OJ Howard's targets here and red zone opportunities. Cameron Brate, when he was a feature tight end, he was played a big factor in the red zone. So I like Cameron Brate this week. And that does it for this video. Those are the 6 players that I will be building my lineup around. Thanks for watching, and good luck this week.